We're live.
We are live.
We are live. What's going on, y'all? Peace and love from the RFA squad.
What's that in?
I know it's funny to see both of us like on the same screen at the same time.
I know, right? We're always doing stuff separately, but you know what? We want to do something a little different because, what happens is being kind of, I guess, authorities in this space, like we just get tons of DMs and emails, like really just lots of questions from people. And we want to help out as much as we can, but I feel like it's really about like time to do it. So we're like, yo, let's just hop on Zoom and let's just answer these questions and let's just help out like a lot of people at once. So these are just like we want to do these calls. Like this is really just about the biggest questions that we get a lot over and over and over again. We're just gonna start coming on and answering them. So yeah, let's not even waste any time. But I will say, hey, listen, somewhere in this video, like I'm not gonna tell you when or where it's gonna be, but I'm gonna put a very, very special link somewhere in this. And if you're lucky enough to see it, we're gonna give you something for free. And essentially what it is actually, I'm not even gonna tell you what it is.
Don't tell them.
If you see a link, just go to the URL and type it in because it's gonna be super valuable.
We got a special treat for y'all. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
Be sure to like this video as well, because when you like it, it pushes it out to more people. And helps us to spread the gospel of digital marketing, y'all. So we really appreciate all y'all support. We're almost at 3K subscribers as well.
Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna get to the first question. So we wanted to frame this particular video and make it strictly dealing with the types of creatives that you're using inside of your ad. So we wanted to kind of help you with that because we've been getting a lot of questions about it.
What's a creative, bro? What's a creative?
All right, good question. So a creative is basically the visual aspect of your ad. So when you set up your ad, you target the people that you want to hit, but then they have to see something, right? So what they see is actually called the creative. It could be a picture, it could be a video, but it is the visual aspect of what they're seeing from the ad that you launch. So that's a creative. So now, all right. So question number one, how many creatives is right for split testing at the ad level? It's a good question.
This is a good question, man. We get this a lot actually. And really, from my opinion, I think when you're testing, let's just say like you're a new account and you're still trying to figure out what your best performing creative is. You're still trying to figure all this stuff out. Then what you probably want to do is test out on a small budget, right? And we typically will recommend between 5 and 15 per day when you're testing out different audiences and creatives and stuff. So that's what I would recommend for you too. And when you're testing at that budget, me personally, what I suggest to our students is that they split test at least 3 different creatives per ad set, right? And that way, and the real reason why you want to split test multiple different creatives is because of the fact that you don't know what's going to work yet, right? You might have an idea of what's going to work and you might have an opinion, but at the end of the day, you don't really know. You don't really know what ad copy is going to resonate with people the most. You don't know what color video is going to work the best. You don't really know what thumbnail is going to like attract people to click it the most. So it's really important that you split test different things and give Facebook these options so that you're not just pigeonholing yourself and thinking that you know everything pretty much. But what would you say, bro?
No, I agree with that. Honestly, anytime I'm on with our students, I always recommend at the very least 2, but honestly, we're starting to shift more to 3 creatives. So, you definitely want to focus in on the style of creatives that you're doing. And that kind of will help to segue to this next question that we're about to get into. What types of creatives should I be using? So styles of creatives are very, very important. You typically don't want to use the same style for every split test that you do. You want to kind of switch it up. So for instance, video, well, first of all, let's talk about video content. Facebook just came out with some data and they said percentage wise that video content performs, I believe it was around 75% better than picture content does when you're using creative. So we always recommend video. Not saying video is going to work for everyone, but at the very least, you want to give yourself a shot with video because of that data that Facebook released. So you definitely want to be doing video. I would recommend, 2 to 3 creatives. You might want to throw a picture in there too, just to see if the picture will work. We're not saying pictures do not work, but honestly, if you're using 3 creatives, I would say 2 video, 1 picture. Like Plex said, the colors can be different. The call to actions can be different. You could be telling someone to do something in one video and then telling them to do something completely different in another. You can split test like different emojis that you want to use. Things like that. Anything that's going to make the visual appear a little different to your audience is what you want to aim for, as far as, the types of creatives that you should be using.
Yep, I agree. You should definitely test different styles, because I look at it like this, like what you're really trying to do with your business is like you're kind of throwing a party, right? And you want as many people to come into your party as possible, right? And like an analogy of that is like, all right, well, if I want to get as many people into my house party as possible, I want to have multiple different doors so I can get in as many people as I can, right? So what would you rather have, just one door, or would you rather have like 3 different doors?
I'm
You know
trying
what
to
I'm
I'm trying
saying?
to have the party of the century, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to have as many different doors as I can so I can pull in, because you never know. Door number 1, like the person might really want to go into the party, but door number 1 just didn't resonate with them, right? But maybe door number 2 did, like whatever that difference. So it's a little bit of an analogy, but it's kind of like the same thing with ads. It's not that people don't want your end product. It's the original content that they saw. Is it resonating with them and making them take an action, right? So you want to have multiple doors, if you will, to kind of invite people into your party, and your party is your product or your service. So that's
Yep.
my take on it.
And here's the reason why too. The reason why we recommend split testing so many different creatives is because of this whole iOS update. It's becoming a lot more difficult for advertisers to reach the people that they're actually targeting. It's becoming a lot more difficult. So you want to put as much bait, if you will, you want to put as much bait out there for more individuals to bite on. And we have a YouTube video going over this same exact thing. You want to put yourself out there, because the thing is, people have different motives when it comes to buying a product or when it comes to being attracted to something. People have different wants and needs. So each creative should honestly cater to one of your particular customers' wants or needs. You know what I'm saying? You really want to make sure that you cater to that, because you could be bringing in buyers that you never knew were a part of your ecosystem. So
That's a
different
fact.
creatives is essential.
Big.
All right, next question. So this is a good one, actually. When using carousel ads, how do I find out which carousel card is performing the best?
This is actually a kind of a little technical hack right here. A lot of people don't even know you can do this. This isn't like a screen sharing kind of like thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through how to actually find out, because and if you want to go in and do it, do it. But basically the whole context behind this is like, let's say you're running a carousel card, like a carousel ad. If you don't know what a carousel ad is, it's basically multiple different images or multiple different videos and you can actually swipe through like that. But let's say you're running a carousel ad and you're like, well, how do I know which actual image is the one that's getting all the clicks? A lot of people don't know that you can actually do this inside of Facebook, and you can. I'll tell you how. First of all, you can't do this if you're just boosting your post. So number 1, don't boost your posts, because that doesn't work anyway. You need to run ads from the ads manager in the background. Okay. When you're in your ads manager, what you're going to want to do too is navigate over to the ads tab. Okay. That's where all your creatives are. When you get to the ads tab, you're going to select the little drop down that says breakdown. Select that menu and then go down to where it says buy action. And then on the sub menu that drops down below that, go down to carousel card. When you select carousel card, it's actually going to drop down all your carousels is going to drop down into multiple different columns or rows. I guess you can go, what is that? Rows or columns?
Rose, yeah.
Rows. It'll be multiple different rows, right? And you'll actually be able to see which cards are getting all the different link clicks, right? And then you might be asking, well, why is that important? Well, it's super important because you could be running, let's just say a carousel with like 5 different images. And let's say it got like 50 clicks total, but 45 of those link clicks came from card number 3. If that's the case, then you can say to yourself, okay, all these other images aren't really doing anything. Let me take card number 3 and make it a single image of it by itself. You see what I mean? So it's all about optimizing what's working and kind of putting all your fire and your ad spend there. So that's a little hack. If you guys know how to do that, navigate what I just did, and that's it. Good question.
And
That's a fire question.
No, that's a gem right there. A lot of people do not know how to do that. So nope. You're definitely putting yourself at an advantage by doing that and being able to recognize what's working, what's not working. And honestly, the goal is to amplify what works. All right, so we want to keep it short here for sure. So we just got one more question, and be sure that y'all are, clicking the link in the bio, checking us out on Instagram and DMing us your questions, because we're going to bring it to the forefront here and answer all your questions. Mm-hmm. Drop a question in the comments too, if you have any. Mm-hmm. Last question: how long should my videos be? Honestly, like this one kind of varies, but one thing that you want to keep in mind is that consumers have a very, very short attention span, super short. In this day and age where everything's like microwavable and quick results and instant gratification, you kind of want to get to the point quickly in your video.
Super quick.
Especially now that TikTok is really taking over. Like TikTok videos, typically it's 30 seconds to a minute. So that's honestly what we like to keep it to, 30 seconds to a minute. Anything longer than that, you're going to be on the verge of boring your customer, and they're going to end up leaving your video before it's done. Now, one thing that you can do that's going to help you to determine the retention rate of your video is you can go to Facebook and you can actually look at how long someone has actually watched your video. You can actually pull that up inside of your Facebook Manager and see who's watched 3 seconds or more, who's watched 25% or more of your video, 50%, 75%, 95%, 100% of your video. Now, we typically aim to here's the thing: the golden gem customers are going to be the ones that watch 75% or more, 95% if you really want to be picky with it. But if they've watched 95% of your video, then chances are they're rocking with whatever it is that you're saying. So you probably want to retarget those people, those specific people that have watched 95% of your video, because there's a high likelihood that if they haven't performed the action that you want them to perform, that they will once you retarget them. So 100%. There's another gem for you right there as well.
That's a major gem, major jimmies.
Jimmies.
Another thing I would also say as well is I kind of think about it like, it also depends on the different part of the funnel that you're targeting on. So for instance, if you're marketing top of funnel, meaning you're going after cold traffic, people who don't know who you are, and you're trying to get awareness at the top of the funnel, what he just said is 100% true. 30 seconds to a minute tops. I wouldn't really go any further than that, because again, these people don't know who you are yet. Right? Like they need to be like they need to get to the point. And all the other thing about these creatives, they need to get to the point super, super fast. All right. So for instance, if you're at the top of the funnel, then you want to make your videos pretty short because people don't know you yet. They don't know who you are. They need to kind of get to the point super quick. And that's a really, really big thing. Your videos, you need to get to the point within like 3 seconds. If someone scrolls on your video and they don't know, or they're not intrigued or curious within 3 seconds, chances are they're just going to keep scrolling, right? So at the top of the funnel, keep your videos longer. But when you're starting to retarget people, now these people are already kind of familiar with your brand, right? So at the middle and the bottom of the funnel, you can start to experiment with a little bit longer videos. Try a minute to 2 minutes, or 2 minutes to 5 minutes. You can even test out longer form videos, 10-minute, 15-minute videos, because if someone already seen your top of funnel, and now you're retargeting them with like a 15-minute podcast, and people are watching you for 15 minutes at a time, they're going to become very, very familiar with you, your personality, your brand. And that's where it gets really powerful. And you create this like bond with your viewers and this viewership. So you can test those things out at the bottom of the funnel. But rule of thumb is top of funnel, keep it real short, 30 seconds to a minute. As you go down the middle and the bottom of the funnel, start to experiment with longer videos as well, because that might create more of a bond with you and your consumers.
Facts, big facts, big facts. That was the last question. So
That was it.
you know, we definitely want to do this. We want to deliver value to our community. Once again, we appreciate everyone who rocks with us. Be sure to click that subscribe button.
Yes.
Be sure to click that like button. Share this with a friend who struggles with digital marketing, who wants to take it to the next level. We started from being in debt, crazy debt, to creating a 6-figure brand, working on 7. So follow us, rock with us. We kind of smart. We kind of know what we're talking about.
Tell them about the roaches in the apartment, bro. Tell them about the ant problems that we had.
Every other day, there would be a colony of roaches in our kitchen marching to the bathroom. Every other day. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, turn on the lights in our apartment, and I would at least see one roach. Like it was a very common thing. But that's where we built our first e-commerce brand. And that's honestly, that's the grind that we was on. We was literally waking up and just eating, sleeping e-commerce, you know,
nonstop, like almost 24/7, not even like an exaggeration. But that's just a testament to show like it doesn't matter where you guys are at right now. You might be looking around your current circumstances and it might not look like success right now, but it doesn't matter where you're at or where you're coming from. It really is. If you put that work in and you have the mindset and you truly believe that it's going to work out for you, it's going to work out. You know, you just got to keep going and get the right information and surround yourself with the right people who can help you take you there. And it will happen for you, period. Like if it worked for us, it could definitely work for you, because it really ain't nothing special about us. We're just super regular dudes that just have a lot of ambition and hunger for being successful. And we put in a lot of work, and we believe in ourselves and enough to invest in ourselves. And that's another big thing, you know, so you got to believe in yourself. But if you guys want to have any other discussions with the team, we have like free strategy calls that you guys can book. You know, we'll drop some links in the description as well if you want to speak with our team about other ways we can help you and all that stuff. But yeah, man, I hope this video was helpful, and we're going to keep this rocking though. This ain't the first one. It is the first one, but it ain't the last one. So keep the questions coming in, and we appreciate y'all so much.
Peace and love, baby.
Let's get it.